run over a little girl on the way home, then when they sue, they're going to sue the owner of the restaurant, they're going to sue the manager, they're going to sue me as the actual server. If it's at my home and I overserve someone at my dinner, then, or let them drive, I will be sued, and my insurance company, my property casualty
So same in
insurance.
private situation as it is.
It's the only difference is that there's not a physical entity. I will be, if this is at my house and the sommeliers come and someone drives home and they're in a wreck and they've got THC in their blood, then I'm going to get sued, they're going to get sued, everybody who touched it is going to get sued. It's a question of where the liability is going to be.
It's an interesting thing. It's like it's in your system for much longer than alcohol. So if I drink, 4 beers and then I get in the car and I drive impaired, that's one thing. If I smoke a joint and I get in the car and I drive, that's a whole different experience. It's a whole different sensation. And arguably, even if I didn't smoke that joint, but I had smoked one yesterday, and I get in a car and drive, it's still there. They have no idea how to sort of navigate this landscape with driving under the influence. I mean, there's some great educational campaigns out there, and you go into dispensaries, every one of them has something about driving under the influence. Or with the edibles, it's, start low, go slow. There's, an enormous amount of educational material and programs out there from the cannabis community. They really have stepped up, in my opinion, and been part of the solution and not part of the problem. You will not find another industry that is more philanthropic than the cannabis space. And none of them really are mature enough to have these corporate responsibility folks, but they're all interested and they're all looking. So I think it's something to sort of to think about too as we're sort of navigating this, all the good that's happening from this space.
And I think what Ken was touching on before is important. It's not that it's in your system, it's impairment. If I take an Ambien and then drive, I am impaired, I'm under the influence, even though Ambien is legal with a prescription. If I hit someone because I'm spacing out, it's my fault. If John gave me the Ambien and said, hey, go drive, the person I hit can sue him.
Can I ask why the Colorado Liquor Enforcement Division cares if cannabis is mixed with liquor? Does it influence liquor sales? Are they worried that people will be too intoxicated? Why were they so adamant about separating the two?
They're both under the same umbrella. Liquor enforcement and marijuana enforcement are both under the Department of Revenue, and they see them as two distinct things, and there is no state law that allows public consumption. And so just within their bailiwick, they were saying, nope, you can't do it here. Colorado law only allows for off-site purchases. The entire marijuana industry should be looked at the same as if there were only liquor stores, no restaurants and bars and taverns and beer and wine, coffee shops, anything like that. And they said there's not a legal structure for it, so you can't do it.
And also, it's also important to understand that the Colorado Restaurant Association and others in the restaurant world have come out against the common consumption, but the Initiative 300 being implemented in bars and restaurants mostly because the bar or restaurant would have zero control over consumption. They're not selling the product, they're not monitoring how much, they can't tell how much product you consume, and maybe tangentially you would be less likely to drink because you're already high from the product, and so that people would be nervous about people leaving their establishment impaired and them having no control over that. So I think if they asked the Colorado Restaurant Association, when they did ask the Colorado Restaurant Association, they came out against 300.
Yeah. And John's right, and think of it like if it was a restaurant where you could bring your own beer. Right? They have that in some East Coast jurisdictions, but why in the world should a restaurant want you to be able to bring your own wine into your restaurant? It's eating into what you do.
Increase food sales though? Just saying.
We'll face this, it's our Mountain Sun location on Pearl Street, Boulder has the most tourist traffic out of any of our restaurants, and all of a sudden, maybe 2 or 3 times a week now, somebody drops, just falls, and either throws up on themselves or just drops and falls. We have called an ambulance every time this happens, and it's always tourists who went next door to the pot store, bought an edible, and didn't realize how it was going to affect them, and it was the first time they ever did it. Are we liable for that?
So
If we're under the influence, we have to evaluate that.
Yeah, so understand that your liability, it isn't just if you sell the alcohol to them, but you need to assess it. If they're drunk, then that's one thing you should be able to tell. But if someone comes in and they're mentally unstable, or they've popped a bunch of Ambien before coming in, or they're already high when they come in, you can't add to that by giving them alcohol. The thing to understand is that anyone can sue you for anything. It's a question of whether it's going to stick, and it costs you money or it costs your insurance company money just to get a BS lawsuit dismissed. So
another thing, and to John's point, really, the timing of how these rules came about, and then I-300. So, like I mentioned, since 2014, it's been legal. Recreational marijuana has been legal here, and this was happening at restaurants already, right? People were using vape pens, like trying to be discreet inside restaurants. People were, taking edibles and then coming in and drinking. So this was